All right, so here's the photograph I'm working from. The painting you can see behind me. And my palette is all set up. And I like to keep my warmer, lighter colors on one end, as you can see here, yellows, oranges, reds, and then basically I set it up chromatically so you go from your warmer, lighter reds, darker reds, violets, purples, blues, and then greens at the end here, and then my earth colors at the other end. So as I'm mixing up my colors, I like my warmer, lighter colors for light, so as I'm mixing up warmer, lighter colors, I'll take some of my yellows and my oranges and reds and bring them into my mix here. So warmer, lighter, and then here, cooler and darker. As you can see from the painting behind me, I'm keeping my colors rather muted, soft. I don't want a lot of color, in other words. I don't feel the necessity. I feel like when you've got too much color, they're all kind of competing with each other. So I like the idea of keeping things, color in this painting, really modest. So I'm going to do this shoe up here. I've mixed up a really light. I used Viridian green as the base, but then I kind of muted the color by adding a little bit of burnt umber, a little bit of permanent green, a little bit of burnt sienna. So I'm going to take this is a palette knife painting, so I'm working with a palette knife. So, and then this is again the shoe I'm going to start here. So I have again a photograph that I took. I bought all these shoes and took a photograph, and then gridded it out. Put a grid on my canvas and then drew it using the grid. I find that low tech and somewhat low tech and easy. And now what I'm going to do is start to palette knife in my lighter values and then my shadows, using this shoe for value, and then this shoe I'm going to use for color. I like this really light, kind of almost slightly teal color, but very muted, very soft, kind of green, So anyway, that's my process. So I'm going to pick up my paint, and I'm going to test it on the canvas here, see what it looks like on the canvas, because when you have paint on your palette, you're seeing it in a very different context. So you got to do is try it out up here. So there we go. So that looks like about what I'm looking for. I like that. Maybe just a little bit more of my Viridian green. Again, I don't want to keep it somewhat muted. I'll throw a little bit of burnt umber in there, a little bit of this and that, kind of. I wouldn't think a little orange in there. So now what I'm going to do is start with the lighter areas. Okay, so I'm going to start here where I see the light. Again, using this photograph. And as I'm putting my paint up here, again, it's going to be very painterly, very thick. I like paint. I pick it up on one edge of my palette knife. It's kind of like frosting a cake. I'm putting it up here and not try to work over it too much. In other words, not try to fuss with it and blend everything together into some seamless result, but, really kind of painterly, a very active surface, let's say. Okay, so that's my process. I'm going to keep working on this, and I'll bring you back once I've put in some basic values, because it's going to take me a little while, and then we'll look at the result and how I handle details and what the result will be in a little bit.